this is my new IMS bearing. And in order to put it in, I've got to take the old one out. So I'm going to take out this IMS bearing, this bolt, concrete bolt, and a bit of pipe. And while I get this cap off, let's have a look at the tools that we need to do this. So basically 330 quid, no thanks. $274, nope. Yeah, basically an arm and a leg. So yeah, I think I'm going to build my own. With this concrete anchor bolts, this bit of galvanised pipe and this wood washer, I think we can put this together for about £20, and it works out about $20 as well, looking at the prices. But first of all, we need to start by modifying this anchor a little bit, because it's still a little bit too big for the clip to go through the 20mm hole in the centre of the IMS bearing. So with my generic Dremel type tool and a cobalt bit, I'm going to grind down the centre of this, grind a bit off the edge of the clip until it'll all go through the centre hole nicely. And I've also needed to trim down my galvanised pipe slightly. And here's my £20 tool on the IMS shaft. I think if you was going to do this with the IMS still in the car, you'd probably need to grind down some of them threads a little bit, but yeah, this works as it is quite nicely. Now we should feel it pop, and we might hear a snap when it actually pulls that bearing out from the circlip that's in the groove on these 11996s. It's starting to get tighter now. I think it's going to go in a moment. Oh, it's really tight now. And there it goes. That was the spring of that circlip being pulled down to the groove. Okay, so we're going to tighten it against this so it sits nicely, and then we should just be able to wind it out fairly easily, I think. Now. Okay, this is really easy now. I think it's going to just pop out in a second. The IMS bearing is out, and that's all it costs, what, less than $20, £20. There we have it. You can see how it's tight on that anchor there. Yeah, there's that circlip I was talking about. You can see the way that this anchor grips that pipe as it pushes against the end of the anchor. Okay, so we need to retrieve that centre support that we knocked through before the pipe on. There we go, maybe easily pulls that out. Okay, so now we need that new bearing to stick in that IMS shaft. So what kind of bearing did I get? Well, I've done quite a bit of research into these bearings after doing my 2005 997, and to be honest, I don't really think any of them are worth getting, apart from maybe the plain bearing. That could well be worth it, but yeah, I think basically do what Hartech say, put in the original bearing, take out the outer seal so the oil gets in there, and that will do the job nicely. I mean, these bearings have what, a 2% failure rate from what I can tell, so yeah, I'm happy to go with an original Porsche one. But okay, well, this is the original Porsche bearing. As you can see, it's quite wide because it's got a groove in there for that circlip that we saw on the one that we took out. However, I understand people put in the thinner version without the circlip because the wide one's hard to get, and they just put a circlip on the outside in the groove and hold it in place. But yeah, I found that the original one with the groove for the circlip was actually half the price of the other version. So yeah, I've gone with a genuine Porsche one. Right, so I've left this in the freezer overnight, shrink it a little bit, make it a little bit easier to go in. Right, I'll just tap in the centrepiece, and we can use an appropriate size socket, maybe the old bearing as a drift to knock it in place. I just need to push that spring clip in around the edge so it pops in nicely. Okay, well, from the sound change of while I was knocking that in, I can tell that he's now seated all the way. So yeah, that's it, that's done. Now, as well as on this 996 bearing, I think this DIY tool will work on all, because this is the bearing that came out of my 2005 997, and as you can see, this concrete anchor fits onto it quite nicely. So yeah, I believe it will work for all of them. Okay, so I thought an IMS video was worth doing just on its own. We're going to get the rest of the engine done back in the car, and hopefully I can get this video out to you sooner than I've got this one out anyway. So, you know, if you want to see more, then give me a subscribe, give me a like, and after this is finished, I've already got another project car lined up and another one after that as well. So yeah, plenty of content coming. Hopefully I can get these videos close together. That's what I'm aiming to do. So yeah, give us a subscribe, be great.